I'm 102 in September.
You know, I like a wrinkle. I think a wrinkle is a wonderful thing. It celebrates life and being alive and living and having lived.
I don't like being 102. I don't like it at all. But I'm here, and that's it.
I'm into wildlife in a way, but it was just one of them things. You know, I never really thought about it.
The Wild at Heart project, which is within Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust, is a specific project that's funded by the Big Lottery for 5 years. And the project is really about engaging and re-engaging older adults with the natural world and wildlife in safe, accessible, fun, lovely ways.
I manage in my own way, but I do think a lot of old people are neglected, definitely, by what I've learned myself.
I think there's a real importance in terms of seeing this project in the wider context of the culture that we live in. We are bombarded with negative images of older people. To ghettoise older people in the way that we do, and an awful lot of older people live in quite extreme poverty, not just financial, poverty of experience, poverty of opportunity, poverty of social connectedness, and that has a hugely detrimental effect both on them personally but also on the communities within which people live. I'm passionate about the fact that ageing is a natural process. We should celebrate long-lived lives and the diversity of older adults and what they bring. People who haven't come out of their flat for anything else have come to these sessions because they offer something different to what is usually offered to older people. They often seem to be lumped together and, they'll all sit in front of a telly, or they'll just sit in a row of chairs and they'll just want to talk about the war, and that is so not okay. What's this one here?
Oh,
Isn't it fantastic?
when Jan takes us out and we're in the park or in the wee woods, she can point out to things that I just took for granted. You know, you just see them, say, oh, they're nice, and walk on past. Even the grasses, but different grasses. Just all, and like the bluebells that she was talking about the day. But the only thing with me is I forget it. You know, so Jan's going to repeat it on, trying to look intelligent, but we all enjoy it so, so much. We really do.
Coming back to spring, these are just classic things that we think of. It's March, we've got to think about some Mad March hares. Yeah. One of the things that was really noticeable was that although people may have lived in a supported or sheltered housing scheme with other people, they may know very little about each other. And you can see, can't you, the difference in the shape of the head. This is a longer head, but most particularly...
It's just like a community. Just a wee community we've got over on, and we watch each other.
It's this big, and the bunny's this big. I think people have really enjoyed the fun of learning about things together. Aren't they sweet, Cam? But also there have been other layers of work. So there's ecologists at the Wildlife Trust, and they tend to attract the younger age group and people who are more physically fit and, you know, able to charge around and look at things.
It's very odd, to me, Because it belongs to the honeysuckle family.
Oh, really?
As long as Torresia. Why, I cannot tell you.
We talk about trees, insects, bugs, plants, flowers, and how they reproduce. The bees and what have you transfers one bit of pollen to another and fertilises them. It was very interesting.
There are people who've come out on trips who've said, well, I haven't been out of my flat for 2 years. I've never been in this garden. I've lived in Sheffield 83 years and I've never been in these woods. It's wonderful to be able to do that with people, but it also has to be done in a safe and accessible way. So the bulk of the work has been me going out with my fantastic team of 4 volunteers.
This is fun. Yes.
So we can't take people to super wild places, but that's fine.
Right.
You can still enjoy squirrels, birds, beautiful wild flowers, insects, ordinary everyday part of nature without going somewhere immensely remote or difficult.
It's been like a tonic to me today to come out here like this. I think it's beautiful. I have me off and on days. I get by. I have a good wife. She helps me.
This is a Healy ball, and these are the seeds.
This is not me in this wheelchair. This is not me at all. But that's the only way I can get out.
So that's a Healy ball, there's loads of them out. And then
It does make a difference. It's the fact that they get you together like they've got us together and brings us out, that we manage to get to see anything like this.
I love the outside. I've spent years coach driving, so I'm used to outside life. I like the outside life. I don't like to be trapped indoors.
a lot of the sessions I do, even if we're not going out into the natural world, they're all based on the seasons. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. I'm working with people in the autumn and winter of their lives.
I love trees. I love trees. Trees fascinate me. I mean, they're here hundreds of years, aren't they? The world belongs to the trees. We've only borrowed it for a wee while.
It's a natural process that we may slow up, and that, of course, we will die. But to be able to relate this to the natural world, it helps us to come to a more easy resolution.
Just come right back round. It's just a circle of life, isn't it?
Older people have experienced lots of sadness and grief and loss in their lives, inevitably, and being part of something, knowing that they can contribute and that they're valued, is a hugely healing and rewarding experience.
As I say, we all help each other. We look after each other, which is good.
I'm me. I want to be me. I want to be Vera. I don't want to be an old woman. I'm not growing old gracefully, you know. I'm growing old disgracefully.